Welcome to Learn and Master Music. This is our first piano lesson titled Piano Blueprint. My name is Wilfred and I'll be your instructor for today. This whole session is divided into 8 different sessions. Alright. The first one is getting to know what music is all about, just some basic things you should know. Then session 2 will tackle how the keyboard is organized. Okay, every piece of musical instrument has 12 keys. Likewise the piano. Okay, so we'll go through how to name and identify all these 12 keys on the piano. Session 3, we will now delve into scales, but we will only tackle the major scale at this stage. All right, the major scale is it's a scale that is mostly used by every genre of music, and it's made up of 7 notes. So we'll go through that in the session 3. Then move to session 4, where we'll dive into intervals. So that's the distance between any 2 notes. Then in session 5, we'll get to know about the number system. It's the basics of playing songs by ear. You should know your number system so that you can play songs by ear. So we'll do that in session 5. Then in session 6, we'll get to know all the different kinds of triads. Okay, so triads are basically 3-note chords. So we'll go through all the types and kinds of triads in session 6. Then in session 7, we'll go through all the chords that goes with our number system. You remember in session 5, I said we'll go through the number system. So in session 7, then we'll now find chords that matches or goes with the number system. Then session 8, we'll dive into basic chord progressions. That will be our last bite for this lesson. So music, there are 3 main qualities of music. That's melody, rhythm, and harmony. Okay. Although there are many keys of the piano, or like you can see there are many keys seen on the piano, there are only 12 actual notes, and each of them repeat as you move up the keyboard. So even with the black keys, you can see that there are 2, 3, 2, 3, and it's the same thing repeating itself across the keyboard. So it means that this note, which is the first of the 2 black keys, is the same as this, because it's also the first of the 2 black keys. It's the same key, but in terms of pitch, the pitch increases. So I always say that music is a language, and every language, if you want to learn any language at all, you need to start with the basics. That's learning the alphabets. It's the same with music. Before you can learn music in any form, you should know the alphabets of music. All right, and it begins from A. That's the normal alphabet. It begins from A and ends at G. The formula for forming a major scale is to first pick a root note. So we first pick a root note. So whichever scale you want to form, it has to be on. It should get a root. So you can't just form a scale just in the open. It should have a root. All right. The formula is to move. It's about movement, and we've talked about movement already. We've talked about whole step movement and half step movement. The next thing we'll be talking about in this session is the intervals. Intervals. So a good definition of an interval is the space between 2 notes. So if we have this note and we have that note, we have 2 different notes. What is the interval? Now let's look at the number system. The number system. So each note within any scale has a number attached to it. So to build a major triad, according to what I've explained before, we pick the root note, which is always the first note. So that is C. We pick the major third. Remember, in the number system, we numbered all the notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we also did the intervals. We said that 1 minor second, whole tone or whole step. Then we have the major third. So we pick the major third note. Then we pick the perfect fit. All right. In the intervals, our perfect fit for C will be G. So we pick the first note, which is our root notes. We pick major third, which becomes E, and then we pick the fifth, perfect fifth note, which becomes G. So we have C, E, G to be our major triad for the key of C. Number 2 is a minor chord. So I'm taking it again. Number 1 is the major chord. Number 2 is the minor chord. Number 3. Next progression is 1-3-4 chord progression. And the formula is 15-35-46. 15-35-46. As I explained earlier, so 15, it means our left hand will play 1, right hand plays 5. 35, left hand plays 3, right hand plays 5. Then 46, left hand plays 4, right hand plays 6. Alright, so this 15, now 35. Our left hand plays 3, let's add a 5, and then our right hand plays 5 again. So we maintain the same chord for our right hand, so the same second inversion. So first one. And then 4. Left hand plays 4. We can add the perfect fifth to it. Then our right hand plays 6. So normally this would have been our 6 from the root position, but we invert it. So I'll end with our encore. Continuous practice makes a man good at anything. Alright. So thank you for purchasing this lesson. Learn all the concepts by going through each key using the cycles of fifth that's arranged.